everybody, welcome back to the range. Tom here, and today we're doing this 52 Chevy pickup. This one was in its, packaging, and I was like, you know what? I gotta do something with this. It has no interior, so you'll figure out what I do to it here in the video. So why don't we go ahead and head on down to the range, and let's get started. I really love these older pickup trucks. I really like, the older model cars in general. I'm a big fan of the old trucks. I kind of get that from my father. And, I've been wanting to do a truck build, and, I haven't done a tow truck in a while. So that's what I decided to do with this. And at first, I didn't know exactly if I was going to make it into a tow truck or what I was going to do to it. But, kind of ideas were coming into my head, what colors I was wanting to do. I thought about making it like an 18-wheeler. But I was like, I want to put some nice, cool-looking wheels on this thing. But I didn't really feel like extending the rear half and doing a whole double axle in the back and stuff like that. So instead I just cut the back off, just getting that out of the way first. And all in all, it went off perfectly. When I cut the bed off, very little filing. Yeah, there was very little filing for doing this, and it sped up a lot. So it's one way to catch it up. And I know it's been a while. It's been about a week since my last video, and I apologize. I've just been kind of going over some ideas on what I wanted to do, take a break a little bit, think about what I wanted to do. But I wanted to make sure the paint job was great, the style was going to work, and there was a lot of R&D, test fitting, idea smashing, just to kind of see what all I wanted to do to this truck. I had this sleeper that I got off of an 18-wheeler build, or just an 18-wheeler that I had just laying around. So I cut it off, and I wanted to attach it to the back of this. And I just kind of wanted to try something a little different with this pickup truck instead of like just doing the normal tow truck bed on it. I wanted to give it a little bit bigger look. So I had this M2 ground pounder that I picked up. I don't remember what year it was. I took the bed off of that, trimmed it up, and you'll see that here in a little bit. This was a silverish color, and at first couldn't even tell, honestly, if I removed the paint or not when I pulled it out of the stripper, because you couldn't tell, because it was just there. It was already silver, so it made me think that it was already stripped down and they just added a red stripe to it. But anyway, I decided to do some sanding to it, smoothing it out, kind of covering up getting the paint that was actually on it. And I already took the base, put it in the oven cleaner, got it to where, it needed to be, all blacked out, because I planned on painting it later on down in the video. And, I wanted to, at first I thought about doing the whole bottom base chrome, but it just would not have fit the style I was going with. The paint scheme I went with is, it was a beautiful color. I took some JB Weld after I glued it just to make sure this sucker sat in here solid. It wasn't going to move. And I'm getting better at using the JB Weld. I've noticed that. So I was really happy with how everything kind of pieced together on this. Because, I wanted to get it together to where it kind of looked seamless, and I think it turned out pretty good that way. Like I said, it's been a while since my last video. It was about a week ago, and here's that bed I was telling you guys about. It's a tow truck piece. I already stripped it completely apart. Took the tow hook chain, whatever they want to call it, already off, so I could strip this down and get it to where I needed. I had to modify the base a little bit to get it to fit this back end. And you'll see what all I had to do for that, because I actually had to extend the back half of the base to get it to actually, to where everything was lined up. It fit the back part, and the wheels would go on there, because I used this whole base and just added a piece of styrene in the center to extend it a little bit. And I'm glad I did. I really did. It turned out like it went together perfectly. Didn't have no hiccups with the paint or nothing. So this whole build went off pretty decent. And yeah, I've been kind of working on this build for about 4 or 5 days. Just finished it up today. And I'm sorry, it's been a while since my last video. I've just been kind of going through some personal issues, but I'm still going to try to be putting content out there. I'm going to try and knock at least 1 or 2 videos out before I do my 4 horseman build. I haven't quite figured out what all I'm going to do yet for my next build or so. So I might just do something quick, easy, something less complicated. I got a build that I'm going to be doing for my dad eventually, a 57 Chevy build. I got a Gaslands build I'm going to be doing. Well, 2 of them actually. And I'll probably end up doing those in the same video, because they're going to 2 different people. And, one's going to be a Camaro and one's going to be a Mustang. So I'm going to be doing a 2-for-1 build. 2 builds in 1 video. And they're both going to be Gasland style builds, because one was requested by Manny's Garage. If you guys don't know Manny, you need to check out his material. He does some great work. And my buddy Iggy, I don't know if he's got a channel or not, but I'm going to be doing a Mustang build for him and a Camaro build for Manny. But you know how I roll. When I send a car or something, I usually send more than 1 car and some channel decals. So they're going to be getting more than 1 custom from me and a channel decal. So, Manny, I know you watch my videos. You was just telling me about one of my Camaro builds that I did. And, I'm glad you like it. So I'm trying to improve my skills a little bit by doing pretty much just like I always do my off-the-wall builds. So we can, kind of get an idea of where I'm heading with some of these newer builds that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to eventually build a tractor trailer setup. And eventually I just got to kind of work out all the details, figure out what casting I'm going to use and how I'm going to do it, what wheel style I'm going to go with. I might have to go on Samed wheels and get a particular kind of wheels for this build. But all in all, the wheels make the truck or the vehicle of any kind, But the wheels that I used for this was the ones that came off of the pickup that I took the bed of this off. So I just used those wheels. They were already blacked out. I didn't really have to do anything but chop down the axles a little bit. And you can kind of see them up in the top right-hand corner. They're just kind of laying up there, because I'm kind of still test fitting them at this time. And this part of the video footage was done a few days ago, because I wanted to make sure that, it fit, everything was glued where it needed to be, how it sat for long enough to dry solid. Because I wanted this truck to look good. I really did. I wanted the paint job to come out good. I wanted it to come out crisp. I wanted it to come out looking like a classic style tow truck. And, I used 3 different colors. You can be the judge of the colors. I think they go well together. And you'll see that in towards the end of the video, because, you actually get to see some of the paint. That I'm doing on this car, but you don't get to see everything. You get to see bits and pieces of it. And I kind of want everybody to be kind of in suspense on what this sucker is going to look like when it's done. I also thought about putting some stacks on it at the time, and I'm like, maybe some fuel tanks on the side. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to leave it like a plain looking truck. And trust me, it's far from being plain. The paint job looks good on it. I had to do some hand painting because I didn't know how I was going to mask off certain areas. So I did some hand painting, and I think it turned out really good. So I was really happy with it. The base was fine. I had to kind of modify some little parts for the base because, I wanted everything to kind of be smooth and, kind of go together and just kind of look like it's one piece. And luckily enough, after I did some of the Mr. Putty and, kind of touched up the sides a little bit, I wanted this little spacer, as I see it, just a little spacer to hold up the bed or hold up the or fill in the gaps pretty much of the sleeper. And you can see the first color I used here was more like a pearl satin gold is what it was. And I wanted to kind of do a certain paint job. You don't see the full results. And here's the bed that I ended up painting: the pearl blue, the hand detailed pearl black fenders, and inside the bed. Because, this I don't know, I just kind of thought about doing something blue and gold and, a little bit of black, just to kind of see what it looks like. And I was really happy with it. I ended up, kind of doing some little touch-ups on the tail lights. There's no decals on this truck because I didn't really want decals on it. I just wanted to look like a clean tow truck. And, after the detailing, like I said, there was no interior. So what I did was the same pearl black, I ended up painting the windscreen the same color, kind of make it look like it had tinted windows. Since there was no interior to it, I just kind of thought I'd just give it that kind of look with the tinted windows. I'm kind of 50-50 about whether I like it or not. But all in all, I think the whole build really turned out good. And here's the base after I'd already painted it pearl black. Here's the wheels that I'm going to be using. Everything looks amazing on here. It rolls fine. And I really like the wheels that I stuck with this. And, all in all, it was a great project. This is what we started off with. Simple, plain, silver red 52 Chevy. I like the 52 Chevys. I wish they had a little more interior look to them instead of just, the plain screen or plain windscreen and stuff. No interior to give it any detail. But without further ado, why don't we check out the final results? Dug yours up.